My name is Peter Myers. I have been a resident, taxpayer, and registered voter in the Virgin Islands since 2012. For the past few months, I have been privileged to listen into the meetings of delegates of the 6th Constitutional Convention of the Virgin Islands. I am very enthusiastic by what I've heard. The ideas discussed are innovative and transformative. The delegates regularly review constitutions of U.S. states, territories, and other countries to choose the ideas that will work best for the Virgin Islands. They are taking advantage of the capabilities of high-speed computing and internet to enable individuals to monitor the inner workings and finances of government. In this video essay, I attempt to provide an overview and also to suggest future possibilities that are enabled by the new Constitution. Two important disclaimers. This video has not been approved or endorsed by the CC6 delegates. Their views may differ significantly from those expressed here. Also, the VI Constitution is a work in progress. The final product may differ significantly from what it looks like today. The new Constitution is much more than just renaming an existing form of government. It is an opportunity to reshape government and to adapt it to the modern world. In my view, the delegates are idealistic, creative, open-minded, and are making bold decisions that could lead to an improved quality of life for all Virgin Islanders. The actual Constitution is quite detailed. It contains many articles, and each article has sections. And of course, the devil is in the details, and the delegates are working hard to get it just right. The perspective presented here is from 10,000 feet. As I see it, the overarching principles of the new Constitution are empowering the people, trusting the people to make their good decisions, and enabling the people to take charge of their cultural identity, their way of life, and their ability to chart their own path into the future. A Bill of Rights and incorporation of the three branches of government are provisions of the legislation enabling the Virgin Islands to create a constitution. The current version of the Bill of Rights provides extensive protection of individual freedoms and enables each individual to have dignity and respect for being the person that they are. The omission in the U.S. Constitution of consideration of political parties enabled political parties to infiltrate and dominate government. The new VI Constitution will explicitly ban political parties from any direct role in government. Citizens will be free to form and join political parties. Political parties are free to advocate for their causes, and officers of government may be members of political parties, but no one will have any special role or authority because they are members of a political party. Every member of government will be there as an individual. People, not parties, will control government. Simple as it sounds, this fundamental provision greatly empowers the people. Perhaps the most innovative feature of the currently envisioned VI Constitution is the recognition of the collective rights of individuals. Our society and our economy are complex. A thriving economy requires teachers, business people, police officers, truck drivers, farmers, etc., etc., etc. The concept of collective rights recognizes that we all work together to create the infrastructure of society and specifies that we each have the collective right to the benefits of that infrastructure. In addition, the bounty of nature does not belong to any individual or group, but rather belongs to each individual collectively. There is a synergy between the well-being and industry of individuals and a thriving economy. A person who works hard and smart will be better off than a person who is lazy or foolish. Working in one's self-interest, however, also benefits society as a whole. Collective rights means that individuals do not depend on legislation to enjoy the benefits of basic civic infrastructure, but rather are granted those rights by the Constitution itself. Thus, for example, a person can appeal to the government for clean air, not on the basis of a hypothetical Clean Air Act, but rather on the basis of their collective right to clean air. There are practical limits to what the government can do, but the point is that every individual has the right to the benefits of basic civic infrastructure of society. Direct election, combined with the exclusion of an official role for political parties within government, means that key executives will be answerable directly to the people and will be more likely to be independent and free to perform their duties. Smaller electoral districts give individual voters and small groups more influence. Elected officials are more likely to have neighbors or friends who may be in the minority on certain issues, and therefore the officials may be more willing to achieve compromise and work for practical rather than ideological solutions. Local governments are best able to deal with local issues like streets and neighborhood upkeep. For a government to be effective, it must have power, and to have power, the government needs money. How much money the government collects and how it spends that money is decided by the elected representatives of the people. By giving the government the power to levy taxes, the Constitution is showing its trust in the people. The new Constitution takes advantage of the technical advances of our modern society. Powerful computers and high-speed internet enable detailed information on the internal workings of government and on the movement of funds into, within, and out of government almost instantaneously. The new Constitution will incorporate this newly available technology in order to achieve full transparency of government. A Constitution cannot, on its own, create a vibrant, independent economy. If the people of the Virgin Islands want economic independence, they will have to work for it. One possible enabler is for the government to prepare a gross value added report. A GVA measures the contribution of each business sector to the overall economy of the Virgin Islands. It is a tool, a measurement. There is a principle, what gets measured gets done. A GVA gives the people, and therefore the government, a measure of the independence and health of the Virgin Islands economy. As I mentioned in the beginning, this is a video essay and represents my views and opinions. In fact, I am not aware that this topic has been discussed by the delegates. In my view, the education in the U.S. is deeply flawed. This is not specific to the Virgin Islands. This is a nationwide issue. College graduates are saddled with debts to pay for an education with little practical value. In order to enable young people to take advantage of the economy, they have to understand it. I don't mean taking one or two courses that provide an overview. I mean focusing on practical issues. Why is it that the Virgin Islands imports 97% of its food? Why do tourists go to Cuba instead of the Virgin Islands? What are the practical factors that define a successful restaurant? Deep-sea fishing is really a hunter-gatherer activity. Is that really our best option? How can we make best use of AI to improve our quality of life? Education should dig down and explore the practical issues that affect our society. High SAT scores are nice, but they won't make a waiter into a restaurateur. One of the many positive features of life in the Virgin Islands is its history and culture. The framers of this Constitution rightfully want to preserve and venerate this history and culture, and plan to establish a board of culture that will have the resources to accomplish this goal. We live in an interconnected world. Young people who were born here may want to emulate the lifestyles and values of friends and family who live elsewhere or of places they have visited or seen on the internet. Preserving cultural independence is facilitated by educating young people about the special features of the Virgin Islands culture. As mentioned above, government in the U.S. has long been controlled by the two major political parties. As a territory of the United States, Virgin Islanders have limited power to shield ourselves from the dominating influence of the partisan ideology of the U.S. government. We may not be able to prevent military troops from being stationed here, or masked ICE agents from patrolling our streets, or being forced to teach a sanitized version of history in our schools. But at least by keeping political parties out of government, we can create a haven of civility in which Virgin Islanders can work together to determine how best to deal with these outside forces. With economic and political independence comes power to chart our own path. The Virgin Islands is fortunate to have clean air, clean water, beautiful beaches, a temperate climate, and bright sunshine. Perhaps this abundance encourages us to be wasteful. It seems inevitable that the world economy will one day outgrow its available resources. If a conversion from a linear to a circular economy is the direction that the world is moving, a ChatGPT analysis suggests that the Virgin Islands is lagging far behind. The U.S. president recently stated that climate change is, quote, the greatest con job ever. It seems unlikely that the VI could develop a circular economy without political independence. Developing a circular economy is one of many possible goals that economic and political independence could enable Virgin Islanders to pursue. Whether your interest is preserving the past, protecting our present civil society, making a better world for tomorrow, or all three, a constitution that empowers the people enables Virgin Islanders to better define their own destiny. Creating a new constitution is a rare opportunity to achieve significant change. The delegates are taking advantage of modern computer technology and of the study of years of historical experience of various democratic governments to empower the people and to expand their opportunities. The new constitution incorporates new and innovative concepts. The delegates have shown themselves to be intelligent, creative, idealistic, detailed, hardworking, and open to new ideas. If you have ideas or concerns, now would be a good time to let them know.